Video is for 11.4 exterior angles of triangles. An exterior angle of a triangle is an angle formed by a side and an extension of an adjacent side. So you notice each one of these number ones are have a triangle, and then they have one side that is extended out past there. So that angle 1 is an exterior angle because it's on the outside, and it is also adjacent, which means side by side of an angle. So we need to know that for each exterior angle of a triangle, the two non-adjacent interior angles are the remote interior angles. So right here, the blue parts are the parts that are adjacent angles. So that's the one that is side by side. If you remember from 6th grade, adjacent angles are side by side, so this angle shares a common side and a common vertex, and that makes it adjacent. So you know, or you are going to know, that with that, each one of these, the remote interior angles are going to equal the measure of the exterior angle. So that means that angle 1 here is equal to 3 plus 2. So those are all going to add up together, or to be the same number. So angle 2 plus angle 3 is going to equal the measure of angle 1. So we're first going to go ahead and look at which ones are exterior angles. So right here at the top, angle 8 is an exterior angle because it is formed from the triangle right here, and it's extended on out. And you notice that it is on the side that is adjacent to the number 5. So the two remote interior angles are angle 6 and angle 4 because they're on the inside of the triangle, but they're the furthest away from 5, which is the adjacent angle. So angle 9 is also an adjacent angle, or an exterior angle. So angle 9 is formed when our triangle sides have gone down, and angle 9 is adjacent to number 6. So we want the two that are the furthest away from that are remote interior angles. So that's angle 5 and angle 4. Okay, on the other side of the triangle, we have angle 1, and that is an exterior angle. So angle 1 is adjacent to angle 4, which makes it exterior, and it is across from the remote interior angles are 6 and 5. Angle 3 is also an exterior angle. It is adjacent to angle 4, so the remote interior angles are the two other ones that are not closest to it, so that's 6 and 5. And then it tells us, the question is which exterior angles are congruent, which means which ones are equal to the same thing. Well, you notice right here that angle 1 and angle 3 are both equal to 6 and 5. And you notice how they're looking here. They are vertical angles to each other, so they're across from each other. Let's take a quick look. I only like this one because you can easily tell which ones are exterior because all the extra stuff is taken away. So angles 1, 3, 8, and 9 are all exterior angles. Angle 5 and 6 are remote interior angles for angle 1. You can see how they're on the opposite sides. So 3 is equal to 5 and 6. 9 is equal to 5 and 4. Angles 4 and 6 are going to be equal to 8. And then these two are vertical angles. You can see that they're across the X from each other. Okay, now that we have looked at that, we want to see which ones are the two remote interior angles of angle 6. So the first thing that we're going to look at is where angle 6 is at. The adjacent angle is angle 4. So those two are touching, so it cannot be remote. Remote is far away. Like a remote control car, it does not have to be connected to you. So angle 5 is remote to angle 4 or to angle 6, and angle 1, because you notice that the triangle that we're looking at is this whole triangle, and it has nothing to do with this little line. This little line here in the middle, this 2 and 3, does not change anything for us. So our answer is D. Okay, so let's prove this theory that angle 4 should equal angles 1 and 2. So we know that the measure of angle 1, 2, and 3 are going to equal 180 because they're all interior angles of a triangle. And all interior angles of a triangle add up to be 180. That was yesterday's topic. So then we also know that angles 3 and 4 equal 180 because 3 and 4 form a straight line right here. So that equals 180. So then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to set them equal to each other. We know that both sides of this are going to equal 180. So measure of angle 1, 2, and 3 equals 180, and measures 3 and 4. So you notice that they both have the measure of angle 3 in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that out. And so that leaves us the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is going to equal 4. So if you did not get all of that written down the last time, at least go ahead and write down why it equals. And so go ahead and take some notes on that key concept to back it up and do that. If you're ready for part 2, we're going to take a quick look and we're going to say the exterior angle we know is going to equal the remote to interior angle. So the measure of angle 1 is going to equal the 34 plus this one right here. This little box means 90. So we can just add those together and we can get 124 for measure of angle 1. We're going to skip over here to measure of angle 3. So measure of angle 3 we know is going to equal our two interior remote angles. So we have 53 plus 61. So we know that the measure of angle 3 is going to be 114 degrees. Measure of angle 2 is a little bit more complicated, which is why I moved over it. So we have 71 equals 43 plus whatever this angle is. So I'm just going to say x. We're going to subtract out 43 from both sides, leaving x equals 28. And then we're going to do the same thing to this last one. So this, once again, means 90. So we know 90 degrees is going to equal 73 plus the x, whatever angle 4 is. So I'm going to subtract out 73 from both sides, and I'm going to have x equals 17 degrees. Okay, so take a look at this one, and we want to know what is the value of x. Go ahead and work through it and see if you get one of these answer choices. So I got that x is going to equal 104 degrees because 28 plus x is going to equal 132. Okay, in part 3, they have given us the measure of each angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in. Measure of angle 1 is 26. Measure of angle 2 is 3x minus 2. And the measure of angle 3 is 5x minus 8. I know that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is going to equal the measure of angle 3. So measure of angle 1 is 26. Measure of angle 2 is 3x minus 2. And the measure of angle 3 is 5x minus 8. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to combine like terms. So I have 26 minus 2 is 24, and I'm just going to bring down the 3x. My 24 is positive because my 26 is. That's going to equal 5x minus 8. I want to keep my x's positive, so I'm going to subtract out 3x because it's smaller than 5x. And I'm going to have 24, those cancel, equals 2x minus 8. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. I'm going to have 2x equals 32, and then I'm going to undo that by dividing it by 2. Should know how to do all of those kinds of math problems by now. So we have x equals 16. Then I'm going to plug it in everywhere that I can for x. So 3 times 16 minus 2, and 5 times 16 minus 8. So I can find the measure of each angle. When I go ahead and work this one through, I'm going to get 46. And when I work this one through, I'm going to get 72. And then I'm just going to check it. And I'm going to say, okay, if I have 26 plus 46, it should equal 72. And it does. Okay, once again, when I have these problems, I first want to go ahead and make sure that I'm filling in all of them right where they're at because it's easier to visualize. So I have 5x minus 18, and I have 3x minus 40. And this is 90 degrees. So I know that the measure of angle 1 is going to equal 90 plus the measure of angle 2. Go ahead and pause it, try and work through the problem, and then see if your answers are the same as mine. Try and find the solution for each of the angles so we know what every angle is. Okay, I've gone ahead and found that x equals 34, but of course that's not the question. They want to know what the measure of angle 1 is. So I'm going to go ahead and do 5 times 34 in my calculator minus 18. And I'm going to find that this angle is 152. This one over here, I'm going to do 3 times 34 in my calculator minus 40. And I'm going to find that that angle is 62. So now you should be able to find, you have all of the measures of each angle that was listed, 152, 62, and then the 90. Okay, I hope that's it. Go ahead and write down any questions that you had for me, and I will see you in class. Thank you so much.